We cannot commune with everybody. We cannot commune with everybody. You know, I mentioned in one of my other videos that Jesus had a large following, probably hundreds. I mean, people were drawn to the miracles and the power, his teachings, his wisdom, and perhaps even how he stood up and spoke boldly before the Pharisees and the scribes. But there came a time in the walk where Jesus spoke to them about eating his body and drinking his blood. And because they lacked understanding, they didn't understand certain things, and so they left. Isn't it amazing how we have fallen away from God at points in our lives, or shut down on God? Because there's people who stay there, but they're shut down in the heart because there's certain things that we don't understand. And we're like, you know what? This is too hard for me. Because that's exactly what they said. This is too hard for us to understand. We can't get with this. And they left. But anyway, getting back to this not a parable, this event, they fell away from him. But it was right before the feast of the Passover. It was right before the Last Supper, where Jesus was there with the 12. It was right before Jesus would go to the Garden of Gethsemane to pray and to be transfigured in front of in front of Peter and John, the sons of Zebedee. I believe he took with him those Peter, James, and John. But you can't commune with everybody. Everybody cannot go into that inner court. You know, when you're in a place where you're sitting and you are communing and you're eating together, this is something, people that you'll sit and eat with and be comfortable and teach, because he at this time, this is where the Lord taught to them about, he did communion with them. You know, he didn't take it. He didn't drink of it. He didn't take it because he says he won't partake of it until he does it with us new in the kingdom of heaven at the end of the age. This is when he's going to break bread and drink with us, right? But only 12 out of all those people, the Lord invited or stayed with the Lord, and then they were taken into the inner courts with Jesus, where he spoke to them told them about the promise of drinking and eating and communing in the kingdom of heaven with his Father, and broke bread with them. This is a very intimate and close, interaction. And I want you to know that you're not going to be able to commune with everybody. And I'm not talking necessarily about eating. You got to think on a deeper spiritual level. Sometimes you have to understand why you and certain people are just not clicking. Why you and certain people are no longer clicking. Why the communication is suddenly strange. You're trying to figure out what happened. How many times have you experienced things where you and this person was just fine? You just went to their event. You were just around them. And then suddenly, just out of the blue, their behavior changes and you don't know why. And they don't give you an explanation. You don't get an explanation because there's no good explanation. You can't take everybody with you, and you can't commune with everybody. It's not everybody that said that they're a prayer warrior is truly a prayer warrior. I don't even know where this came from, prayer and warrior. But okay. Not everybody that say that they're a man or woman of God is truly that. Not everyone who is saying let's fast together is truly of God. And so what does this mean? Are you supposed to live under a rock and hide? No. You have to be vigilant. You have to walk in discernment. Watch the fruit. You're just going to know. You don't have to live under a rock. You don't have to become a hermit. We are in the world, but we're not of the world. But we got to be in the world, right? So the Lord will show you. You can't commune with everybody, meaning you can't be in the same places as everybody else all the time. It seems like a good idea to go to happy hour. It's just a work event. But perhaps the Lord puts it in your spirit. No, this is not a good idea. You can't commune with the principles and the doctrines and the rudiments and the ways of the world and the traditions of man. That is what I'm trying to tell you. Everything is not feasible. Everything is lawful don't mean that you should do it. And so what happens is when God is taking you further and further with him, you're going to find that you are going to have to use discernment a great deal. And you're not going to fit in the places that you used to fit into. You may even go and try to fit in, and all of a sudden you notice everything that you never noticed before. You're no longer comfortable in the environments that you used to be comfortable in. You suddenly notice the drink menu, all that's in it. You suddenly notice the atmosphere, the people around you. You suddenly notice how much your friends really cuss. You suddenly notice the type of conversation that they're talking about and the content of it. And you used to be all a part of it, and they trying to talk to you, and you may even be trying to keep going, but it's not even flowing right anymore because God is pulling you higher. You're not going to be able to commune with everybody. People are going to leave you behind because of where you're going in the Lord. That's what it is. Not everybody's going to sit at the Lord's table. Not everybody's going to hear, Lord, Lord. Not everybody's going to hear, enter into eternal rest. There are many that's going to say, Lord, Lord. Didn't we do this? Didn't we do that? And Jesus says, not everyone that says, Lord, Lord, shall enter in to the kingdom of heaven. Sinners will try to put another spin on it and say, no, that's not what it means. Christians that are sinning and living in sin on purpose. I've heard a twist on that one that I'm not even going to entertain to put here. But I'm here to tell you, as you grow in the Lord, you're going to realize you're not going to be able to commune with everyone. You're not going to be able to sit at everybody's table. You're no longer going to be able to enter into the places that you used to enter into comfortably. You're going to notice everything. And they're going to notice it. And that's why your friendships changes. You wonder why they're suddenly not talking to you. That spirit see the Holy Spirit on you and don't want to be around you no more. And that friend suddenly don't talk to you. People that they used to be calling you, they want to invite you. It's so different. Because you're changing. And then there are things that they just don't understand about you anymore and choose not to understand. And so they'll fall away. Your boo thing will leave you or has left you. It's getting tight. It's getting a little rocky. And you're doing everything. Because the bottom line is he or she feels like you're just getting too deep. You're getting too spiritual. And maybe you're trying to bow down. Maybe you're trying to, compromise. But compromise and Christ don't go together because he never compromised. So guys, keep these things in mind, be prayerful, and remember we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. That's Philippians chapter 4 and 13. I'll be back up in a sec.